Hi, just a brief introduction for week 3 for or for the academic profession. Um, we're looking this week at the concept of academic freedom. It's one that's thrown about quite a bit in both public discourse on higher ed and professional discourse. But I think you'll find as you look through the readings this week that you have quite a long historic evolution and various definitions of the term, um, both in its linguistic sense and then what it means in practice, um, for the practical sense. And so I think looking at the 1950 and 1915 and 1940 AAUP statements on academic freedom will be very instructive towards the evolution of the term. And then we have two resources that you'll be looking at more recently. The Altbach piece on global academic freedom, which I think is very enlightening and really does a good job putting the American conception of academic freedom in a global context, and really makes the American higher ed system, as we've already come across in several other ways, look pretty unique. And the last resource, which isn't listed on the syllabus, but I do want everyone to look at, is the online video of the academic freedom debate between Horowitz and Carey. You'll see that in the course documents folder. It's about an hour, around an hour long, so you want to give yourself some time to watch it from beginning to end. But I think they do a really nice job of pointing out some of the modern nuances of the academic freedom debate and what that means for both the study of the professoriate and the practice of being an academic. I do want in your responses to look a little bit both at your responses to the debate, both historic and more recent. And I also want you to, if you can, apply some of what we've talked about in the first two units on the history and evolution of the academic profession, looking at the trend towards part-time employees, the loss of the tutorial role or the supervision role that early faculty played, the rise of the professions, the increasing fragmentation of the American higher ed system, in which different departments and different institutions have arisen to meet various needs as we've gone to a national policy which has gotten us close to some post-secondary education for all students as sort of being the stated goal. So how do those fragmentation, professionalism, and the evolution of hiring trends that we've studied already impact the academic freedom debate? The Carey and Horowitz one is a few years old now, and so I think if you can, in your responses this week, try and bring the past back to the current debate and see how those connect to each other. I also think the Altbach piece raises this interesting question of activism in the professorship. If we take academic freedom to its sort of logical end, the most free one can be is free to say things that are disagreeable to the state, which in my case as a public employee, that's my employer. At a private institution, that may not be my employer, but it's certainly a power to be reckoned with. And I don't see in today's faculty a large strain of activism, which has certainly Altbach points out in his first page, and existed somewhat in the 60s and 70s on American campuses, but you don't see it as a major force today. I wonder why that is, and being part of that faculty with certain feelings about policies, particularly education, but also including poverty, etc., that I, as a faculty member, feel strongly about. But I'm not walking down the streets, and I wonder why that is. So talk a little bit about the academic activism, the activist professor. I think that the Altbach piece will make you think of that. We will wrap up our previous dialogue over this weekend and begin our Unit 3 posts due next Wednesday. If you have any questions, feel free to email or be in touch at office hours. Thank you.